Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So, I wanted to make this before I started my day. I saw the news on Black Adam and how financially it's a flop failure. It could lose WB reportedly over $100 million. I don't even think it's cracked 400 million at the box office, which for a film of this magnitude, all the marketing that went into this movie, that's not good. That's actually quite embarrassing, if I do say so myself. I think it's embarrassing. But my thing is, are we shocked? Because I'm not. I'm really not. They expected The Rock to carry this movie. Not good writing, not good sense. You expected one person to carry this film and help to bring in the money. And that's your first mistake, once again. Like, The Rock is not enough to carry a solo Black Adam film. I'm very sorry to tell you. Number one, nobody was clamoring for this movie. From my recollection, nobody was clamoring for a Black Adam solo film. I remember when it was announced way back when. And I thought that by the time we got to this point, I would be pumped. But because the DCU is a disaster fire, no. And they didn't take into account how much of a disaster fire your universe is and how consumers don't trust you right now. Rightfully so. So instead of having great marketing behind bringing in this character you have never introduced, right? It's not like you could build him off Shazam, which is what you should have done. But because you let the star of the film tell you, like, I really want to focus on fighting Superman. I want to kind of divorce my character from Shazam. I believe that's what happened because The Rock seems very settled on that for whatever reason, right? Because you let that happen, now we have this with Black Adam. The marketing should have been top notch to sell this film. And according to this Variety article, they spent 80 million on advertising, on marketing. $80 million. And I'm sorry to tell you, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. Like, the marketing for me was very all over the place when this film was coming out. Like, in all the interviews leading up to release, they kept talking about Superman. They kept talking about Superman coming back. You expected a less than 5-minute cameo end credit scene that people could find on YouTube after a couple weeks. You expected that to draw people back to the theater to see your movie? Like, does that make sense? Why was that the focus of your marketing days upon release and not the JSA, who you have to build up? Because I assume they're going to come back down the line. And the writing was pretty garbage, so it doesn't do you any favors. So you didn't focus on them. You didn't really focus on Black Adam outside of him just being a powerhouse. I'm not shocked that this film is not making money. I thought it would have at least cracked 500 to 700 million at the box office, like the Batman. I really thought before I saw this movie, that's what it would hit. But after seeing it, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. The movie is just not good. It's not written well. It's just not written well. And they keep listening to these extreme fans who will accept anything you put in front of them. They will consume your products no matter what. You keep listening to those people and not the fans who are questioning the steaming pile of garbage you keep setting out in front of them every year, every couple times a year. You don't listen to the people who are telling you that it smells. You're listening to the people who are gobbling it up. And you wonder why you're in the predicament that you're in now. Like I said, Black Adam is equivalent to a Fast and Furious film. The difference is people, when they pay to see a Fast and Furious film of today, they know exactly what they're getting. They are prepared, they know it, and they love it. And that's why those films make so much bank, even though they are horribly written and sometimes horribly acted. They know what they're getting. You can't rely on that same, what is the word? I don't know. I just woke up. But you can't rely on people to feel the same way about Black Adam. when they go to see that film because they're probably expecting a superhero film with great action, but also a great story, also a well written character. And you didn't deliver on anything but the action scenes. And I'm like, yeah, people are going to have fun seeing this film. But when the action scenes stop and you have to lean on your story, you have to lean on your titular character, you have to lean on the JSA, you fall on your face because it's not written well. And then you're shocked that your movies aren't making money. Like, don't listen. It's the same story that we've been dealing with for almost a decade now. You don't listen, period. And I don't know what it's going to take for them to start listening. I really don't. I don't. I mean, we have a poster for Blue Beetle, so that's good. Is that the extent that we're going to see for the marketing of that movie? Because again, nobody was clamoring for a Blue Beetle film. So to sell this movie, you have to sell the hell out of this movie. And I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know. I really don't. Let me look through this Variety article and see if there's anything else. $200 million budget. Mm. Plus the 80 million campaign, I'm sorry, marketing budget. I mean, it said it needed to make 600 million worldwide to break even. It hasn't even broke even yet. Like, you could find Black Adam on Prime Video right now. Buy that HD. And I think it's still in theaters. So that is just telling. It's just telling. Oh, they also weren't smart with its release date because Black Adam came out like a month or so before Wakanda Forever. That was just foolish. Um, that was foolish. And Wakanda Forever made a mockery of Black Adam's entire theatrical run in 3 days. So I don't know why they released it so close to that film. Like, F that movie, but also understand the money that's going to bring in. Understand everything that's behind Wakanda Forever. Like, people don't, for some reason, the people at WB, they're not thinking about that. I really don't get it. I really, really don't. And then it's like, why is Black Adam's budget $200 million? Because Shazam's was half of that, and they made a nice profit. Like, you keep setting these unrealistic goals for your struggling universe. But this is what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket. I don't have anything else to say. It's a flop failure. It is. And this is not even compared to the MCU. Just standing on its own merit. It's a flop failure. You couldn't even match that of the Batman, that made like 700 million this year. And you're action packed. And the Batman, the pace is a lot slower for, a typical superhero film, and you couldn't even match that. Like, but that's what happens when you don't have good writing and you expect to coast off of action scenes that you can find on YouTube after a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I'm done. Let me know what you think, or don't. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.